This story comes from a guy named Tyler Martinez, who was 22 years old and working as a DoorDash driver in Austin, Texas in October 2022. Tyler had been doing food delivery for about 6 months to help pay for college. He'd delivered to hundreds of addresses all over the city, mostly without incident. One Friday night around 10 p.m., Tyler got a delivery request. Chinese food, going to an address on the outskirts of Austin. The payout was decent. $18 for about a 25-minute round trip. Tyler picked up the order from the restaurant and headed to the delivery address. His GPS took him out of the main part of the city into a more rural area. The houses got farther apart, the streetlights became fewer, and eventually he was driving down a dark country road. The GPS showed he was getting close. Tyler slowed down, looking for house numbers. The address was 4768 Blackwood Lane. Tyler saw a mailbox with those numbers and turned into the driveway. It was a long driveway, gravel, leading back into some trees. Tyler couldn't see a house yet, just darkness. He drove slowly up the driveway for about 200 feet. Then he saw it, a small, run-down house, no lights on, no cars in the driveway. It looked abandoned. Tyler checked the app. This was definitely the right address. The customer had left delivery instructions. Leave on front porch. Do not knock. Tyler grabbed the food and walked up to the porch. It was dark, no porch light, and his phone flashlight barely cut through the blackness. The porch was old, wooden boards creaking under his feet. He set the food down by the door, took the required photo for the app, and turned to leave. That's when he heard it, a voice from inside the house. "Help me!" Tyler froze. It was faint, muffled, but clear enough. A woman's voice. "Help me, please." Tyler walked back to the door. "Hello? Did you order food? Help me. He locked me in here." Tyler's heart started pounding. He tried the door handle. Locked. "Are you okay? Do you need me to call the police?" "Please, he's coming back. He'll kill me." Tyler immediately pulled out his phone and dialed 911. As he did, he heard a car engine in the distance, getting closer. The 911 operator answered. "What's your emergency?" "I'm at 4768 Blackwood Lane. There's someone inside the house saying they're locked in, that someone's going to kill them." "Stay on the line. I'm dispatching officers now." The car engine was getting louder. Headlights appeared at the end of the driveway. Tyler ran. He sprinted to his car, got in, and locked the doors. The other car, a pickup truck, was coming up the driveway fast. Tyler started his engine. The truck stopped right behind him, blocking him in. A man got out. Big guy, probably 6, too old, and wearing a heavy coat. He walked toward Tyler's car. Tyler kept the 911 operator on the line. "There's a man approaching my car. I'm blocked in." The man tapped on Tyler's window. Tyler cracked it open an inch. "You the delivery guy?" the man asked. "Yeah, I left your food on the porch." "Why are you still here?" "I was just leaving." "You call someone?" The man was looking at the phone in Tyler's hand. Tyler's mind raced. "Just marking the delivery complete." The man stared at him for a long moment, then he stepped back. "You should go." Tyler didn't need to be told twice. He backed up onto the grass, went around the truck, and drove down the driveway as fast as he could. As he reached the main road, he saw flashing lights. 3 police cars were coming toward him. Tyler flagged them down and told them everything. The officers went to the house. Tyler waited on the main road. After about 30 minutes, the officers came back. One of them approached Tyler's car. "We searched the house. No one's inside. It's completely empty." "But I heard someone, a woman, saying she was locked in." "We checked every room. No one there, and the house is abandoned. Hasn't been lived in for at least 5 years. No electricity, no water." "What about the guy who showed up? The one who ordered the food?" The officer looked confused. "What guy?" "The man in the truck. He came up the driveway while I was calling you." "Sir, there was no truck, just your car when we arrived." Tyler pulled up the delivery app to show them the order. He scrolled to his completed deliveries. The delivery to 4768 Blackwood Lane wasn't there. No record of the order, the payment, nothing. That's impossible. I picked up the food. I drove here. Tyler stopped. He looked at the passenger seat of his car where he'd put the Chinese food. It was gone. The officer recommended Tyler go home and get some rest. Said stress can make people experience strange things. But Tyler knows what he heard, and the next day, he did some research on the address. In 2019, a woman named Sarah Hendricks was reported missing from that house. She'd lived there with her boyfriend. Police investigated but found no evidence of foul play. The boyfriend claimed she just left one day. They never found her. The boyfriend's name was Michael Torres. Tyler found his photo in an old news article. It was the man from the truck. Tyler quit doing food delivery the next day. He still doesn't know what happened that night. If it was a ghost asking for help. If he'd somehow delivered food to the past. Or if something darker was going on. But he'll never forget that voice saying, "Help me." And sometimes, late at night, Tyler gets phantom notifications on his phone. Delivery requests to 4768 Blackwood Lane. He never accepts them. This story is from a woman named Jess Coleman, who was 25 years old and working as a pizza delivery driver in a small town in Ohio in January 2023. The pizza place she worked for was open until 2 a.m. on weekends, catering mostly to drunk college kids and night shift workers. It was a Saturday night, around 1:30 a.m. Jess was hoping to get off soon when a phone order came in. Large pepperoni pizza, going to an added address on Maple Street. Jess knew the area. It was a residential neighborhood. Older houses, pretty quiet. She loaded the pizza into her car and headed out. The address was 2247 Maple Street. Jess pulled up to a 2-story house with all the lights off. That wasn't unusual. Maybe they had gone to bed and wanted the pizza for tomorrow. Jess grabbed the pizza and walked up to the front door. She knocked. No answer. She knocked again, louder. Still nothing. Jess pulled out her phone to call the customer. Before she could dial, the front door opened. Not all the way, just a crack, and no one was there. "Hello? Pizza delivery?" Jess called out. A voice came from inside, a child's voice. "Leave it by the door." "I need payment first. It's $18.50. Mom said leave it by the door." "Is your mom home? Can I talk to her?" "She's sleeping. Leave the pizza." Jess hesitated. This felt wrong. A kid alone ordering pizza at 1:30 a.m.? "How old are you, honey?" 7. Leave the pizza or we won't pay." Jess made a decision. "I need to see an adult. Can you wake your mom up?" The door opened wider. Jess could see into the house now. A hallway, dark, leading to a staircase. And at the top of the stairs, Jess could see someone standing, a woman in a nightgown, completely still. "Is that your mom?" Jess asked. "Yes," she said, "leave the pizza." But the woman at the top of the stairs hadn't moved, hadn't said anything. Jess raised her voice. "Ma'am, I have your pizza. I need payment." The woman didn't respond, didn't move at all. Jess felt her skin crawl. "I'm going to need you to come down here." The child's voice again, but different now. Flatter. "Leave the pizza." Jess backed away from the door. "I'm sorry. I can't complete this delivery without seeing an adult." She turned and walked quickly back to her car. As she got in, she looked back at the house. The woman at the top of the stairs still hadn't moved. Jess drove back to the pizza place and told her manager what happened. The manager called the number from the order. It rang, but no one answered. The manager looked up the address in their system. 2247 Maple Street had ordered from them before, 3 times in the past month. All late-night orders, all with the same weird interaction, a child answering, an adult upstairs who never moved or spoke. "Did the other drivers report this?" Jess asked. The manager checked the notes. No, they all said the deliveries were completed normally. That didn't make sense. Jess had been there. Something was very wrong at that house. The next day, Jess drove by the house during daylight. She wanted to see if it looked different, less creepy in the daytime. When she got to 2247 Maple Street, she stopped cold. The house was abandoned, windows broken, yard completely overgrown, a condemned notice on the front door. Jess got out of her car and walked up to the house. She looked through one of the broken windows. The inside was gutted. No furniture, no stairs. The staircase had been torn out. Just empty rooms and debris. There was no way anyone lived here. No way a child had opened that door last night. No way a woman had been standing at the top of stairs that didn't exist. Jess went to the neighbor's house and knocked. An elderly man answered. "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. Do you know anything about the house next door?" The man's face darkened. "That place has been empty for 2 years, ever since what happened." "What happened?" "Woman lived there with her daughter. Husband had died a few years prior. One night, someone broke in, killed them both. Never caught the guy." Jess felt sick. "How old was the daughter?" 7, I think. Sweet little girl." Jess went to the police. She told them about the pizza deliveries, about what she'd seen. The police checked their records. The phone number from the pizza orders, it belonged to the woman who'd been murdered. It had been disconnected for 2 years. The police went to the pizza place and checked their order system. The deliveries to 2247 Maple Street were in the system, but when they tried to pull up the payment information, there was nothing. No credit card, no cash records. The orders existed, but there was no record of anyone paying for them. The other drivers who delivered there couldn't really remember the details when pressed. They remembered going to the house, but the specifics were fuzzy. Jess was the first person to actually pay attention. The pizza place blocked the address in their system. No more deliveries to 2247 Maple Street. But Jess still drives by sometimes, and occasionally, late at night, she sees lights in the windows of that abandoned house. And once, she swears she saw a child's face looking out at her from an upstairs window, from a floor that doesn't exist anymore. This last story comes from a guy named Carlos Mendez, 28 years old, working for Uber Eats in Miami in August 2022. Carlos usually worked the dinner rush, but one night he stayed out late to make some extra money. Around 11 p.m., he got a delivery request for an apartment complex called Harbor View Towers. The order was substantial. Mexican food, about $60 worth, going to apartment 1247. Carlos picked up the food and headed to the address. Harborview Towers was a large complex, maybe 15 stories, right on the water. Nice building. Carlos parked in the visitor lot and grabbed the food. The delivery instructions said, "Come to apartment 1247, ring doorbell 3 times. Carlos entered the building. The lobby was fancy, marble floors, chandelier, doorman desk. But the doorman desk was empty. Carlos found the elevators and went up to the 12th floor. He walked down the hallway looking for apartment 1247. He found it at the end of a long corridor. The hallway was dimly lit, and apartment 1247 was the last door. Carlos knocked 3 times, as instructed. No answer. He knocked again. The door opened, but no one was there. It had just opened. Carlos peered inside. The apartment was dark. "Hello? Uber Eats delivery." A voice from inside. "Bring it to the kitchen." Carlos hesitated. He wasn't supposed to enter customers' apartments. "I can leave it here by the door." "I'm disabled. I can't come to the door. Please bring it to the kitchen, straight back." Carlos made a judgment call. He entered the apartment, using his phone flashlight to navigate. The apartment was weirdly empty. No furniture in the living room, nothing on the walls, just empty space. He walked toward where the kitchen should be, found it, just as empty. No appliances, no cabinets, nothing. "Hello? Where should I put the food?" No answer. Carlos turned around. The front door was closed now. He didn't remember hearing it close. He walked back to the front door and tried to open it. Locked. From the outside. Carlos's heart started racing. He pulled out his phone. No signal. He banged on the door. "Hey, I'm locked in. Let me out." No response. Carlos tried calling 911. The call wouldn't connect. He explored the apartment, looking for another way out. All the windows were sealed shut. He was on the 12th floor. Breaking a window wasn't an option. He went back to the front door and kept pounding. "Help! Someone help me!" Finally, he heard footsteps outside. The door unlocked and opened. A security guard stood there. "What are you doing in here?" I'm delivering food. Someone locked me in. Delivering food? To who? Apartment 1247. They ordered through Uber Eats. The security guard looked confused. Sir, apartment 1247 has been vacant for 6 months. We're renovating. How did you get in? The door was open. The customer told me to come in. The guard walked into the apartment and looked around. There's no one here. This apartment is completely empty. We haven't even started the renovation yet. Carlos showed him the Uber Eats order on his phone. The guard's face went pale. That's not possible. What? The person who used to live here. They died 6 months ago. That's why we're renovating. Carlos left the building immediately. He contacted Uber Eats support and reported what happened. The next day, Uber Eats called him back. They'd investigated the order. The account that placed it had been created that same night with a credit card that came back as fraudulent. The phone number associated with it was disconnected. But here's the part that still haunts Carlos. When he got home that night and checked his car, the Mexican food was gone. He'd left it in the apartment, but he definitely hadn't brought it back down with him. The next week, Carlos drove past Harbor View Towers. He saw someone on the 12th floor balcony, a figure standing there, looking down at the street, looking right at him. Carlos quit doing deliveries to that complex, but sometimes, late at night, he still gets delivery requests to apartment 1247. The instructions are always the same. Ring doorbell 3 times. He never accepts them, because Carlos knows that apartment isn't empty. Something is still living there, still ordering food, still waiting.